I'm very delighted to be present here today for the commissioning ceremony of INS Arnala, the first of the 16 anti-submarine shallow water crafts to be inducted into the Indian Navy. Friends, most of us are aware that India has earned a stature of being a significant maritime power and has come to be seen as a preferred security partner in the Indian Ocean region by leveraging its strategic location, economic influence, and on the strength and capabilities of the Indian Navy. As we protect and preserve vital sea lanes that are crucial for global trade and energy flows, our naval platforms play a role in maintaining maritime security, countering piracy, and ensuring the safety of our shipping routes. Considering the current flux in the geopolitical environment and the ever-challenging security situations, our Navy needs to remain strong, credible, and equipped with the latest state-of-the-art ships. During Operation Sindoor, it was a matter of pride that about 40 naval ships, including the carrier battle group, were deployed in the designated area of operations. The firepower available at sea, in terms of both ship and air-launched missiles, imposed a significant impact on enemy's operation planning and tactical actions. Consequently, the Indian Navy established a kind of de facto blockade, thus confining the Pakistan Navy and their activities to the harbor or near to the coastline only. Indian Navy influenced the overall battle environment emphatically. Indian Navy's transition from being a biased Navy to a builder's Navy has been the backbone of its blue water aspirations. India's construction of more than 98 ships, including the aircraft carrier INS Vikrant, nuclear-powered ballistic submarines, destroyers, frigates, corvettes, tankers, survey vessels, landing crafts, and other auxiliary vessels is a testimony to the growing prowess of the Indian shipbuilding industry. With 60 ships at different stages of being under construction and more than 180 ships at the pre-contract stage, it's a testimony of our government's commitment towards raising and maintaining a strong blue water maritime force. The Ministry of Defence has constantly endeavoured to promote Indianization within the armed forces. Indian armed forces cannot remain dependent on foreign help for its operational preparedness. It's noteworthy that the recently commissioned warships, numerous indigenous equipment have been installed, accounting for almost 75% Indianization content by cost, and as the CNC said, about 80% overall. I'm very happy to note that. This highlights the impact of collaborative efforts between the Indian Navy and the Indian shipbuilding industry. Today, with the commissioning of INS Arnala, yet another asset has been added to our naval fleet with weapons and sensor-intensive suites. Indian naval ship Arnala, named after the historic fort which is located of Vasai in Maharashtra, is a reflection of India's legacy of mariners who have guarded our coast since ancient times. Construction of this ship through a joint public-private venture between Defence Shipyard GRSE and private sector Larsen & Toubro is a perfect example of public-private partnership, of which the Chairman and Managing Director did make a mention in his opening address. I have been informed that INS Arnala has been designed to undertake the highly challenging missions of underwater surveillance, anti-submarine warfare operations, and low-intensity maritime operations. I am sanguine that the ship, with superior anti-submarine warfare capabilities as well as mine-laying capabilities, will play a crucial role in safeguarding India's vast coastline. I am also confident that the carefully selected weapons and sensors will make the ship a highly potent platform and a force enabler for successful and effective fleet operations. I would like to congratulate the Chairman and Managing Director of GRSE and Messrs. Larsen & Toubro Shipyard, as also their talented and committed workforce, for delivering such a capable and combat-worthy asset to the nation. At the same, I would also appreciate the mammoth effort of the Indian Navy for having the intent and ability to transform this vision into a reality through the Indianness route. I would like to highlight to the commanding officer and the commissioning crew of INS Arnala that the onerous responsibility of this war asset rests entirely on your shoulders from now on. Remember, this machine is as good as the men behind it. Being the first of the class, your performance will set a benchmark for rest of the series that would follow. Lastly, I would like to thank the Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Eastern Naval Command, for hosting me today on this momentous occasion, and this new avatar of old legendary Arnala proudly doffs the naval ensign towards the glorious service ahead. I wish this fine ship and all the sailors that sail with her fair winds, following seas, and many fathoms below the keel, and success in all their future endeavors. Thank you, and Jai Hind.